Hi everyone, so I'm here today with your astrology of the week. This one is for September 15th through the 21st. We're ending the week with that solar eclipse in the sign of Virgo, and that new moon of the sign of Virgo, which was the end of the portal that started on the 23rd of August with that Virgo new moon. So it is a very interesting week. Just know that whenever there's an eclipse that is culminating the end of the week or sometime during the week, there is like a lot of influxes of energy where you're going up and down a lot. So be mindful of that. Really have those tools that you need so that you can stay balanced during this period of time. Also, I mean, just get prepared. A lot of it has to do with really staking their claim in this world and coming into balance. So the energy of this end of this year will completely be focusing on coming back to balance and choosing your, I want to say, your side, the way that you're going to move forward. So always keep that in the back of your mind when we're talking about the astrology. Let's get started and let you know what to expect. All right, so now we get to Monday, the 15th. The moon will be for Virgo, Venus in Leo, and 6 points in Mars and Libra. So, biggest thing that I need to tell you, Venus in Leo, you might want to shop more than you should. Be careful with that. You might be overly passionate, and this can be, people can convince you of things that might not be for your greatest good. Um, you might be very attractive to some people. Just keep all that in mind. You don't want to send down the wrong signals or get yourself in debt if you don't want to, but you are going to be very alluring, and you're also going to be very accepting of different forms of love and valerie all around you. Just don't make harsh decisions or quick decisions this week because of the fact that that is energy is there. Also, the moon being in Gemini, very communicative, very active. This is you creating connections with all kinds of people around you and stuff. So there's that too. Um, Again, mindful, right? Because you don't want to connect to the wrong people. You don't want to connect to the wrong frequencies. You don't want to get your foot in your mouth and accept things that are not going to be for your greatest good. The 6 points that we're seeing here is the sextile, is your net. And the net is connected with Mars, which is all about passionate, strong action, and Libra, which is all about justice, balance, things like that. So the combination is kind of good because that energy of Mars and Libra will create a strong sense of balance in your life. Like, no, this is right. No, this is not right. This is what I'm going to do. This is not what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to accept. This is not what I'm going to accept. But there is so much coming at you at once. Whenever the moon is in Gemini, that means a lot of thoughts, a lot of intuition, a lot of speaking, receiving from different places, but also receiving from yourself. So it just feels like a very busy Monday, which is exactly what I'm expecting because of that moon eclipse that it's coming. Like, it's wrapping up all the final things that need to be wrapped up before the culmination of this end. All right. So keep that in mind. Um, if you're being impulsive, like, you definitely have to buy this thing right now. You definitely have to get this other thing right now. You definitely need to talk to this person right now. Take a pause, take a breath, and really think, why is it that I want to talk to this person? Why is it that I want to do this and thing? You might notice that it's more of an impulse than something you really need. All right. I hope this helps. All right, so now we get to Tuesday the 16th. The moon will be in the sign of Cancer, and there's 6 points in the sun in Virgo. I mean, all right. So whatever happens in Tuesday is important. Okay, pay attention to Tuesday. Tuesday has a lot to do with the eclipse. What is going to shift drastically in your life? Okay. First of all, the moon in Cancer is talking about an energy of focusing on your foundation. So this is your entire focus throughout the day will be, do I want this for my future? Is this the person that I know I'm supposed to be? Am I supposed to be moving somewhere different, etc., etc.? So you're going to find yourself in this energy of, I'm going to do this, I'm not going to do this, etc. And then you have this energy of the 6 points, which is your net that you're casting out. And you're casting out because you clearly are stating to the universe, this is the person I want to be. I want you guys to be very mindful about the words you say, how you think, how you move forward, because it's going to be affecting your future. It's literally telling you these are like the first building blocks of where you're going to go in the future. The eclipse has to do in Virgo, is all about eclipse in Virgo. So it's kind of like this energy of these are the building blocks to this new life that I'm creating. This is the action plan I'm going to be taking. So pay attention to the people you connect to this day. It's going to be very impactful for your future. Pay attention to the words you say, how you're going to move forward, what you accept and what you don't accept. Okay. Make sure that whatever you accept this day is something aligned to who you are and what you want to be for the future. I hope this helps. So we get to the halfway point of the week, and this Wednesday, the 17th, the moon will still be in Cancer. So we're still in this energy with the moon in Cancer where we might be a little bit emotional, but we're really thinking about like our fundamental relationships, those people that are important in our lives, the friendships that we need, and the networks that we need to be connected to create the future that we want. The second thing that we're having here is Mercury in Virgo, which is this energy of a lot of communication and a lot of clear, grounded, and straightforward communication. I would really listen to my dreams and intuition this day, because I noticed that when Mercury is in Virgo, especially for me, and so I'm going to assume for you too, it's kind of like this weird clarity about situations that you've been like kind of backed up about. So you're kind of like where you had a little bit of doubt, all of a sudden you see a song, you see a podcast, you remember something, whatever, that like just refines the clarity of the information that you needed. So be very open to receive messages from any of the social medias you listen to, any of the songs you listen to, but also your spiritual team, because it is going to be a strong time for that. Then the final thing that we have this day is the opposition. The opposition is Saturn in Pisces. Sorry, I just had to double check. Saturn and Pisces currently are in retrograde. So the opposition is this retrograde energy of Saturn and Pisces where you are being called out on your own BS, right? And so this day, Wednesday, has the potential of you like really beating yourself up. So be mindful about that. And I'm going to keep telling you, be mindful, be present. Don't allow yourself to be pulled down that rabbit hole of woe is me. I didn't do enough. I'm too dumb. I'm too fat. I'm ugly. I don't do this. I don't do that. I don't have enough money. It doesn't matter what it is, but don't let yourself be pulled in that rabbit hole. I would do anything that would bring me back to that present moment. So that can be like going outside and put your foot in the feet in the grass. This can also be a situation where you're doing deep breathing exercises, or a strong, quiet meditation would be good, because you're seeing the effects of the changes that you're doing for your future, right? But then you always have that inner doubt. And so don't let yourself be swayed by that inner doubt, making you feel you're less than what you really are. And this is not only yourself, but you might also see this externally with the people around you. You might need to be that voice of reason. You might be that voice of encouragement, telling that person, hey, what are you talking about? You've done this and you've done that, and I've seen you progress a lot. Maybe you're not where you want to be, but you can get there because you're already starting. So keep that in mind, okay? Help that help. All right, so we get to Thursday. This is September 18th. The moon shifts from being in the sign of a water sign like Cancer into the sign of Leo. Signs of Leo, when it gets to the moon, you might be a little bit more feisty. You are direct, you are clear, you are bright, and everybody has to see you. I am lion, hear me roar. Okay? And then with that energy, we have the Mercury and Libra. Mercury and Libra is an energy where you will receive a lot of communications. Those are two air signs together. And these are words that will help you balance out a situation that you haven't been able to balance out. Okay? This is you feeling guilt, doubt, resentment, whatever. That energy is coming through so that you can hear clearly how you can bring into balance things in your life, especially since you're in this masculine energy of Leo, where you can really take actions on what it is that you want for your future. Now, besides those two energies, we have another opposition. This is the second time that we're having waves of turbulence. That's what I'm going to call them. Oppositions feel like waves of turbulence. And the waves of turbulence is linked to the Neptune retrograde in Aries. I don't like this energy just because Neptune retrograde in Aries is this energy where we're looking at our world and we're kind of like, I'm not this no more. I'm not these people. I'm not this mindset. I'm not this organization. I'm not this frequency. I'm not fill in the blank. And the opposition that you're feeling is a wave of doubt. Am I making the right decision? Am I really not these people? Do I really not want to talk to them anymore? Do I really want to move in this new direction? So, see, this is the second day of doubt, which makes a lot of sense because we're going to have that eclipse that's going to phase something out in your 3D world. And this is your, what do they call that? Buyer's remorse, where you're kind of like, am I going to hate myself in the future for the decision that I'm making right now? And so as I'm looking at this energy, though you're fiery, though you're active, though you're moving forward in your Leo authority, right? You're having that, but is this the right thing for me? But am I really ready to move forward in this? But what if I mess up? What if this is not really what I want? What if I backslide? This is extremely normal, especially with the shifts that I'm seeing coming, because this is a big coming of shifts in the energy. My biggest takeaway, take your little journal, write down your questions, talk to yourself, have those meditative moments. You know, I can't tell you how important it is to write things down. Sometimes we have so much here, and there's so much wind energy here with Mercury and Libra. We have so much here and we think we can handle it, but it's just so much garbage. And sometimes when you write it down and you actually see it and you're like, the hell am I thinking? This is stupid. This is what I'm saying. And this is why I'm telling you to write it down, because sometimes things make a lot of sense in your head, but when you put it on paper, you're like, what? Okay. So write a lot. Write about those doubts. Write about the fears that you have, about the community you're leaving, the person you're changing into, right? Because you are changing into something. You're changing into something completely different, and this change will impact your reality, the people you talk to, your family, your friends, your loved ones. So it is important, and the doubt is completely normal. And this can be something as simple as changing jobs, or like, or some complicated as changing religions. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. It's every single one of us in our different paths. You will have doubt. I feel like um, Wednesday and Thursday both feel like energies where you're going to have emotional turbulence, like waves hitting you and asking you, are you really ready to do that? Right? Stand firm in who you believe you should be, because if you get easily moved by the waves, that means the foundation wasn't sturdy to begin with, and it is time for you to readdress the instability in your foundation. All right, I hope this helps. All right, now we get to Friday. Things started getting a little sticky Wednesday and Thursday because we started feeling waves of turbulence, waves of doubt, waves of insecurities. And then we get to Friday and it is a hot mess. I'm not trying to make fun of it, but there's so much going on Friday. And remember that Sunday is when we have the eclipse. So it's not a surprise to me that we would have so much mess going on Wednesday the 19th. First, the moon is still in Leo. So we're still very active. We're still very masculine in our energy. We're still drawing in what we want for ourselves. We're still calling attention to ourselves. Secondly, Venus enters the sign of Virgo. Venus in Virgo kind of turns off your emotional button and turns on your practical button, right? So imagine yourself now very feisty, very Leo, very active, very strong in your masculinity. And now we turn off the crybaby, crybaby crier from inside of you. I think it's a preparation because of the eclipse, so that it, like, what needs to happen happens and your emotions don't hold you back. But definitely Venus is entering Virgo, so keep that in mind. Then we have Mercury in Libra, which we already had it on Thursday. And Thursday is an influx of information that's coming in from every angle, from intuition all the way to the people around you, right? And it's so much wind, it's like so much information. The good thing is Venus entered Virgo. So the information is being taken in not by an emotional crybaby, more by a cold-hearted person for the moment, right? And practical cold-hearted person, it's like, I know that this is emotionally whatever, but this is what we need, you know? And then we have this trine, which is a triangulation, a return of energy. And the return of energy is this retrograde of Uranus in Gemini. I mean, like, it kind of makes me laugh because you're thinking, like, then now what? You know, we have something else to freaking worry about. Yes, we do. We have something else to worry about, okay? Because this energy is change in an extremely high level, because you're over it, right? And then we also have the Pluto in Aquarius retrograde here. So the trine is in both Uranus in Gemini and Pluto in Aquarius, and both of them are in retrograde. Like, holy shit balls. I'm not trying to be funny, but holy crap. You know, the amount of wind energy, first of all, because we have Libra, we have Gemini, and we have Aquarius. Like, that's all of them. Like, the trifecta of wind energy. Wind is spirit. Wind is your mind. Wind is your mouth and your voice. Okay? So it's like quite literally spirit talking through you on Friday. So be mindful of the things you say this day, because it's your truest spirit, your truest soul speaking through you. Okay? No emotion behind it. I don't know if you guys realize this, but I work a lot with spirit. And when spirit talks, it's like, I know that you're hurt, but like, kind of get over it, because this is just the way things are, you know? And so it makes sense that Venus would be in Virgo, because it's just kind of like straight facts. That's it. But there's so much freaking change happening at once. Like, so much transformation, so much focus in, this is no longer that. This is how we're going to move going forward. So, I guess you can be an instrument of change in your life, or change will be taken upon at you. And you will see both around you. You will see people that are like, okay, this freaking sucks. I think it's unfair, but I'm going to get my ass up and move in the direction I need to move in. And then we're going to see a lot of people kind of like, I don't understand why this is happening to me, blah, 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 blah. These are the changes that are going to be taking place because of the eclipse. This is what we're going to be experiencing for a while. So I guess just buckle down for the ride. Learn how to float. Learn how to float. Is that what I can tell you? Because if you like it or not, things are going to be moving. And so I guess I'm just here to let you know, if you feel a little bit nutso on Friday, it's because of this. If you feel like you need to isolate on Friday, totally natural. And if you need some extra sleep, do so. All right. I hope this helps. We get to Saturday the 20th. The moon is in Virgo. Good. That makes you practical. That makes you, think things through a few times before you move forward. It also creates this energy of checklists. So expect yourself kind of in this energy of, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, and making checklists for yourself. Venus is in Virgo. So whatever you're calling into your existence, whatever you're attracted to, whatever you want to do, has a lot to do with that checklist that we were just talking about. And then we have a square energy. What did I tell you square energy is? Your block. The wall that gets placed in front of you. And the wall has to do with the retrograde of Uranus in Gemini. So The black is the change. There is a black between you and the change that wants to enter your life. You're practical, you're direct, you're mindful about how you're moving forward, but there's a damn wall in front of you and you're thinking to yourself, now what do I do with this? I think you're supposed to see this wall. Why? Because the next day we have the energy of the eclipse and you can break down the wall, because that's the wall that's going to be removed from you. So, what comes to your mind that day? Who comes to your mind that day? What problems come to your mind that day? What limitations restrict you this day? What is it? What comes up? Because that's your wall, and that's the wall that will be removed. It can be a mindset, it can be a person, place, thing, energy. It does not matter. But that wall is going to be removed on Sunday. And it doesn't matter who it is that thinks that they can stop the wall from being removed. That's not going to happen. Why? Because it's the all that's doing this. The all that is and ever was. The beginning, the end, the Alpha, the Omega, whatever you want to call it, God, and all the other gods that might be out there. That's who's moving this train. And the train is going to get to its final destination. That's what I was telling you from Friday. It's like spirit is really involved in this. So I'm not trying to be like all mystical, right? But in the end of this period of time, you're going to realize that it didn't matter what you did, you were always going to end up in that final destination. Oh my God, it's reminded me of that show, Final Destination. Hopefully it's not something like that, okay? But who knows? All of us are in different timelines and different things are happening. But it's kind of like a series of events that's going to lead to the final conclusion because it has to happen. And so you're just going to see the wall. Okay? I hope it's not so painful when you see it. Okay? Hope that helps. Now we get to the day that we were all waiting for. Drum roll, please. Sunday, September 21st, the ending of our portal. This is the moon in Virgo, practical movement forward. The sun in Virgo and a solar eclipse in Virgo. We have been receiving information of the things that are phasing out of our lives for a while now. I told you last time that you had to look into August 23rd, like 3-4 days before and 3-4 days after. And whatever happened there, the theme of yes and theme of no, were going to be the final closeout of September 21st. There is revelations that are coming through, insight, clarity, because something's going to phase out, and it's going to phase out big time. That sun in Virgo is creating an opposition, again, a turbulent wave, but this one feels more not so much like a wave, but more like of a tsunami, okay, in Saturn and Pisces, which currently are in retrograde. And this is checkmate, is what I want to call it. It's kind of like, I've been calling you out on your BS for a while. I've been giving you grace to give you allowance to shift your mindset, your actions, your behaviors, etc. You haven't been understanding the message. And so now final verdict is in, and this is how things are going to turn out. This can be something so simple, like you've been calling your cell phone provider for a while about how you've been having glitchy services and they're giving you the runaround and you're freaking over it, and you go out and you're like, that's it. I don't care what they give me now. I'm discontinuing services. Okay. This can be something where you're, I don't know, feeling over an organization that you've been affiliated since for forever because they are fucking crazy, and you've been trying to give them some sense, and you've been trying to give them grace, and you've been trying to move in certain directions, and you're like, you know what? No sane person would stay with these people. I gotta move on. And so it's the final judgment of us in things in our lives that we've been giving way too much grace for, that we've been giving way too many opportunities for, the things that we've been um, feeling guilt about, like guilt about wanting to choose us, guilt about doing things that would be right for us because we know the impact it might have to the other person. That's what I'm feeling here. And it's just kind of like, I'm over it, you know? And because Venus is in Virgo, when I say I'm over it, and when we're seeing this energy of I'm over it, you'll really be over it. It's going to be one of those things like, I, I can't even say I can feel anymore sadness, grief, doubt, whatever. I've given way too many opportunities. I've given way too many chances. I just don't have it in me anymore. That's what this feels like. And it's kind of sad. Um, but sometimes we have to know when we have to throw in the towel. And that's what I'm seeing with this energy. So I don't know how big or how small, how insignificant it might be for you, or how big deal it will be for you. But there's definitely a big change here. I hope this helps.